So let me throw sort of a disclaimer out there for you. If you haven't seen the trailer to this movie, go ahead and click out of this video. Go see the film if you're planning on seeing it, and then come on back so we can talk about it. This movie, I promise, is going to be so much richer and better if you do that. All you need to know before you see it is that it's sort of a violent, dark comedy, psychological thriller, horror with some sci-fi undertones movie with a love story, sort of. Companion stars Sophie Thatcher as Iris and Jack Quaid as Josh, a couple who are invited to stay at a cabin in the woods with friends and with a very sketchy, creepy Russian billionaire, Sergei, played by Rupert Friend. Iris is completely and utterly in love with Josh and would do absolutely anything for him, but Josh is sort of lukewarm and very controlling. When Sergei makes an advance toward Iris, things go a little haywire. And if you've only seen the teaser trailer to this movie, that's all you really need to know. Go watch it and come back. When I saw the teaser trailer, it really hooked me. And with Valentine's Day coming and the love story that it kind of presented, they kind of took advantage of that, and they threw in from the producers of The Notebook in there too. You see the dinner table set in the teaser, the guy and the girl, and then you see her cuffed to the chair, and then the short scene of her arm on fire. And I was like, okay, this is really weird, but I'm in. I thought this was going to be kind of like the 1993 film Boxing Helena, directed by Jennifer Lynch, daughter of director David Lynch. And if you haven't seen that movie, yeah, it's that kind of movie. But Companion kind of goes a different way. Why? Because Iris is a companion robot. She's an artificial intelligent robot girlfriend, and she doesn't know that she's a robot. She's programmed to be exactly what Josh wants her to be, and programmed to do exactly what Josh wants her to do. And there is a clear message of abuse and control in relationships with gaslighting and manipulation. Iris, as a robot who's programmed to remember how they met and how they fell in love, is with Josh despite the way that he treats her. It's a story about someone who loves someone but doesn't want to leave in an abusive relationship because they love that person, but in this case, programmed to love that person. But it doesn't really stop there. The film also brings up the age-old question of what it means to be human. Can a robot feel emotions? And if their programming makes them feel a certain way, is it considered real? It reminds me of the book, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Or the movie based off that book, Blade Runner. I'd say that this would be a good prequel to Blade Runner. The whole reason why Rick Deckard starts chasing after these androids who think they're human. The beginning of the film, you hear a voiceover from Iris talking about not having a sense of purpose, and she talks about her sadness and the 2 times in her life when she had the most joy in her life, bringing some of those Blade Runner vibes into the story. The movie does a lot of things really well. I love the fact that we don't find out that she's a robot officially until she does. We get a sense that something is really off with her, but we don't really know why or what it is until that moment. At least if you haven't seen the trailer, you don't know these things. The film also walks a really nice balance of horror and comedy, or dark comedy. When it was funny, it didn't bring down the horror element of the movie, and it had some really, really funny moments. There's a great group dance scene to the song Boy by Book of Love that was really fun, and another dance scene with the song Lil Boo Thing by Paul Russell that actually made me laugh out loud when I saw it the second time. The score was okay, kind of typical thriller score. It didn't really make an impression on me one way or another, actually. It was okay. The cinematography wasn't over the top and was what you would expect from any movie, really. Nothing extravagant or impressive, but I was okay with that because it's the script that really makes this movie and the performance by Sophie Thatcher. Thatcher is not just a movie star, she is a real actress. Her performance in this movie is so fun to watch. I loved her in the movie Heretic, where she played a Mormon evangelist, and I was excited to actually see her in this film. As an android in a state of intellectual and emotional flux, as she's changed in the app, she flawlessly goes from one state to the next in a way that doesn't seem cheesy or fake. Her facial expressions go from human to robotic, but in a way that's really believable. Thatcher really carries this film all the way to the end. Jack Quaid was also good, but it's kind of what you would expect from Quaid. I am looking forward to his movie Novocaine coming in March. It looks like it could be pretty fun. Lucas Gage is also a great surprise as Patrick. I really don't know much about Gage. I remember him briefly in Smile 2, and he was in the Netflix show You, I think. The film is written and directed by Drew Hancock, someone else that I haven't heard a lot about, but I have a feeling that he's going to be popping up more and more in the theaters after this film. His writing keeps everything very fresh all the way to the end. As soon as the film looks like it's about to go a little stale, he throws a twist at you at exactly the right time to keep the story going. And the film is only 97 minutes, and in that time, he throws a lot at you. But the pacing is perfect in my opinion. There's one scene he uses an exposition dump, but I thought brilliantly. She has a programmed memory of them meeting in a grocery store in this really sweet, cute way, but when he tells his version of how they met, really, in the cold way of like you would set up your new TV, it explains her setup, her function, and all the things we need to know in a really interesting, creative way in contrast. Companion is a well-written, well-thought-out anti-love/love/horror story that has some deeper meaning to it, and not just the obvious meaning. It has a stellar performance from Sophie Thatcher and has some fun twists and turns to keep the film very fresh. I'm giving Companion 3.5 stars out of 5 for all these reasons, and I actually enjoyed this film a lot. It is rated R for some pretty strong violence, some sexual content, and of course strong language throughout, so it may not be for everyone. So let me know what you thought of this film in the comments. I love talking to you and hearing some of the amazing feedback you have about these films. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate every one of you for subscribing and liking and commenting. It really means a lot. And remember, don't wait until it streams. Let's go to the theater and let's see it together.
Yeah, she's tied up inside, so she's not going anywhere.
Eli, Iris. Shh.